Well guys, today is a really important day for zombies history. We got our first image from Treyarch tweeted just a few moments ago. They tweeted, "So it begins, #zombies," with this really evil looking image and obviously some kind of language going on here. And as you can imagine, people's responses to this, yeah, they're freaking out. Everybody is super hyped. Here's the full image here. In just a moment, I'll do a breakdown of the language to see if we can figure anything out. The bottom reads, "Mankind's reckoning will be its salvation." So mankind's reckoning, it sounds like there's going to be some past mistakes or misdeeds that are going to be punished. And through that punishing is going to be the salvation, I guess, to save mankind. The image of the man holding the mask is really interesting. You can see his hand clearly looks like what a zombie's hand would look like, but his face looks really different. His face looks human. You can see some deterioration, but his eyes are not what we're used to seeing when we think about zombies. He seems to represent that some form of the dead is being reanimated here, but he's not like a regular zombie. Clearly, he has some level of intelligence. He is using a mask to conceal himself. So are we looking at a possible boss zombie or boss monster, kind of like the Shadow Man was, but this guy is clearly a part of the zombie race. The mask also represents like human, so is he trying to appear human and underneath he's something much worse? Here's a closer look at the poster and you can see a symbol on the mask. I don't know if that is going to be important. It probably will be. I know the entire community is looking into this poster right now and trying to break it down. So hopefully some of the community members will be able to reveal more about it. I'm just going off of what I see and like my interpretation of it right now. But this image is not what I expected. It's much darker, and maybe the setting of zombies won't be as dark as this, but they are definitely setting a tone of seriousness here. And man, that language, that is going to be interesting. I know I spent a lot of time with the Apothicon language and didn't really get too far with it. It didn't actually do anything for us as far as like backstory or tell any secrets. So let's hope with this language they do more with it and it's not just for looks. Here's a breakdown image that I made of the language on the poster, and I'm going to post this on my Twitter if you guys want to help try to figure this out. So all I did here was try to sort out what we're seeing on the poster. On the very far left, that is representing the left of the poster, and there are 21 symbols from the top going down. This is clearly some type of phrase or sentence because there are several repeated symbols throughout it. Also on the poster, there are a set of circular symbols, and some of those symbols are not represented on the left side of the poster. Those are new ones. I organized all the symbols to see all of the ones that we're seeing that are not repeated, and there are 21 symbols represented entirely on this poster, and I've put those up at the top of the page. When thinking about the Apothicon language and how that was structured, I doubt they would do the same thing. The Apothicon language was symbols that represented syllables that you had to put together to form words and then be translated into English. Some interesting inside information about the Apothicon language. I actually spoke to the guy, the developer at Treyarch that designed the language, and he designed it so that the symbols could be easily stenciled. I don't know what his plans were for that, but I just thought that was interesting, and he doesn't work at Treyarch anymore, so he definitely doesn't have any input on this language, so we're probably looking at something totally different here, and a whole new set of rules. So you've got two different directions of this language. One is top to bottom, and then one is in a circular pattern. Now the question is this language read from top to bottom, bottom to top, counterclockwise, or clockwise? Also regarding the mankind's reckoning will be its salvation relating to the symbols on the left, I guess it's possible that that's what that could be representing. There are only 21 symbols on the left and over 30 on the bottom, so definitely doesn't look like it's going to be letter for letter. Also, something interesting about this possibly being an alphabet and a letter for letter representation is that it's not uncommon. There is an alphabet that has 21 letters. It's an Italian alphabet and it uses a variant of the Latin alphabet, and it's missing the letters J, K, W, X, and Y. But given the fact that the left appears to be some type of phrase or sentence because of repeated symbols, and so does the circular one, then most likely we're not seeing the entire alphabet represented here. And if they do anything like they did with the Apothicon language, we didn't learn about that's entirety until very late into that game. Another thing we can examine to figure out if some of these symbols represent letters is to see the frequency of some of them. There are two symbols that show up a lot, and it's the bottom left here. It looks like a little sad face. That one shows up 4 times, and the one on the right shows up 4 times. And if you compare that to letters letters that are used frequently in the English language, E, A, R, and I are used the most. So it's possible that one of these symbols could represent one of those. And there's another possibility that if these do represent letters, it could be a totally different language that is not English, that has to be translated again to be able to understand it. As I'm making this video, a lot of information is coming in, people are speculating, and I got a message from someone. They said the mask in the picture is a hint that there are usable masks in the game that give you an ability. That sounds like a good theory. The mask in this image seems to be the focal point, so that's a very good possibility. But I will have this image on Twitter if you guys just want to check it out and have it all laid out so we can start thinking about it. I'm sure people are going to be coming up with some really good ideas, so I'll try to keep you guys updated if anybody solves anything. But I hope this helped you guys out, and we'll see you next video.